Welcome to day 150.
Today's a zero, so we're going to answer some questions that have come up, and the first question is, how did you spend your day?
Well, first we slept in because sleep is restorative.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was nice not having to get up at sunrise and pack, and I just lazied around.
Yeah.
I uploaded some videos, did some editing, and just read some comments, and it was great.
It was good.
We didn't actually leave.
Till 11.
Yeah, leave the room. We didn't leave the room till 11, except to go get coffee.
Because the Outfitter opened at 11.
Yeah.
I think Three Little Pigs opened at 11.
So first order of business for us was to replace and repair, and we got these nifty shirts. The long sleeve shirt I've been wearing, I actually wore on the Camino, and it literally is threadbare in places. I patched some holes yesterday, but as I was patching those holes, I realized I was patching fabric that was like cobwebs thin. I've still got the shirt. It's good for, in between, good for sleeping. But we got these at the Outfitter, and now we match, and we look like, this is the official Campfire Confidential uniform.
Ninjas.
Ninjas.
But we did need a little bit heavier layer, and this is a nice base layer. It's probably close to 200 weight.
Yeah, and I consulted with the guy who is the proprietor at Outdoor, what's it called? Outdoor Trail?
Right.
Yeah. And, we kind of tried to find the best solution for repairing my raincoat. Well, so I spent maybe an hour trying to repair my raincoat. One of the repairs I needed to make today was my raincoat. The facing behind the zippers come loose. It wouldn't be a problem except I keep sticking my hands through it. And it's not something that has been sewn before. It was taped down or glued down. So today I'm using this UV Cure field adhesive to try to patch it back together. I've got the whole thing stabilized on a box so that the seam didn't start gapping on me as I was walking it outside. But you need to work in the shade so it doesn't cure too fast. And for whatever reason, that repair did not work at all. Back to the drawing board. It's not highly successful. I ended up using some tenacious tape, and so
She did ultimately say you might have to use. So.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. What else did we get repaired or replaced or fixed?
Let's see. We got a new water bag.
Oh, right. One of our
ever new water bags has sprung a leak, which is not uncommon, and we've had them for a while. So, we expected we might have to replace one. So we got a reasonably good fit 2-liter bag. So we only have a couple weeks left.
I also got to buy a new hat today. I wanted a hat that dries fast, because mostly I just wear my hat in the rain to keep the water off my glasses. So I needed a hat that dries fast. The one I got a few days ago, it's pure cotton, and it gets soaked and it stays soaked for 2 or 3 days. So I wanted basically a runner's hat or an outdoor hat, and they had the exact kind of hat I needed at the Outfitter, so I got myself a new hat. I lost my hat somewhere between Burke's Garden and Bland.
And then we did lunch.
Yep.
Back at Three Little Pigs.
What you got now?
Barbecued nachos for lunch. We hit Three Little Pigs again. I mean, who wouldn't?
Right, and it was very, very good. We got to sit out today because it was almost in the 70s, and because we have our new shirts, which kept us warm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was delicious. Yeah, we had a sweet tea, and they just kept bringing glass after glass after glass. I love that.
And then off to Kroger for a couple of resupply items.
Yeah. Kroger's got a lot of good resupply items.
Yeah.
Very nice store.
Yeah. Lots of good stuff.
Yeah, we got our buns for making sandwiches the next couple of days. And I know it sounds like it's kind of silly to bring bread on the trail, but the buns hold up pretty well, and they taste so much better than tortillas. I am just not in the tortilla space anymore. The buns are good. So we got ourselves some brioche buns, some salami, some bacon, pre-cooked bacon, which holds up beautifully and tastes really good on the trail. So So the sweet bun with the salty meat, it's a good combo. We're ready to go there.
And then we came back here and inventoried because we needed to make sure that everything that went in our box that we're shipping back to Expedition Director M was stuff we didn't need, and that we had all the stuff we needed in our packs and ready to go. So we did all that inventory and we boxed everything up, and that box is on its way. So.
Yes. So we walked back down because the UPS store is right next to the Outfitter and between the Outfitter and Kroger. So there we go, right back down the street. We're walking along 220 now. There's the hotel back there. And then if you walk along 220, which is a busy road, right over here is Three Little Pigs, Kroger's, the Outfitters, and a Goodwill store. And yeah, that was easy. And then we also, some of the stuff we had resupplied, we had excess. I like hefty freezer bags over Ziploc. Don't tell Ziploc, but the hefties are really solid.
Durable.
Yeah, they can withstand what we put them through. So I bought a box yesterday, but it was a box of 35. So we took out maybe 10 that we needed, and we donated the other 25 to the hiker box at the Outfitter. Okay, you've heard us talk about hiker boxes before. Here it is. This one's right in front of the store. And sure enough, classic. There's the oatmeal, a couple canisters with too little fuel to carry. Typical stuff. And I'll be bringing things down later to add to the box. I think it's very nice that an Outfitter has a hiker box. We put some other things in there too that were excess. And I think we'll make some people pretty happy. It wasn't the kind of junk that you sometimes find in there. Used food.
Sometimes it's always stuff you need. So
we
the Outfitter's very organized. They have a hiker box, and they have a parking area for muddy shoes and wet packs right outside. So,
yeah, very nice Outfitter.
Very well done.
Yeah. Then we did laundry back here, and did a few more repairs. We got the needle and thread out, and patched up a few things that are pulling apart. It was really a good day for maintenance, wasn't it?
Yeah. With the marching around.
Yeah.
Body maintenance.
So, we've got a few questions we're going to address. Right. The first question, can you tell us the story about your hat and the feathers?
So, walking on the trail, found a buzzard feather. I mean, a really big buzzard feather, and stuck it in the hat. A couple days later, Granger found another feather about the same size. So some of you have asked about, what's with the feathers. Well, I just tucked them in the strap of the hat. Sadly, a couple days ago when we walked 21 miles in the rain, they got scraped off by a rhododendron bush somewhere along the way, and so they're back on the trail.
Yeah, they've been returned to the great cycle of life.
Right.
But maybe we'll find some more feathers.
You never know.
Yeah. Some of you have noticed that we have done water crossings, and we've done several different strategies on water crossings to protect our feet. So do we have Crocs? Do we have water shoes? No. We've tried crossing streams with our shoes on and our socks off. We've crossed a stream with shoes and socks on. We've crossed a stream with shoes and socks off. The only thing we haven't done is cross a stream with only our socks, and I don't see that happening. We don't have water shoes. It's just not worth it for 6 water crossings in 6 months to have water shoes. We have played around with camp shoes, and my ultimate solution is I don't need camp shoes. Every ounce counts, and that's just more than I need. You are now carrying a pair of flip-flops, but I would never cross a stream in flip-flops or Crocs. Crocs are slippery, and flip-flops just don't give you any support anyway. You're going to stub your toe. So we just go barefooted. I actually kind of like having that tactile feedback as I'm crossing a stream, even though I stub my toe and it's really slick and cold. But, until I step on a piece of glass, I'm good.
Yeah, I've given up on camp shoes and water shoes. The flip-flops are just because they're easy to wear in a shower in a hostel, and they don't weigh anything. But I gave up. I carried a pair of Birkenstocks for months, and they're gone. They're back home.
Now, as you've noticed in the last 2 weeks, we've done a lot of hostel hopping, and some of you want to know how far the hostels are from the trail. And I would say with the exception of Mountain Garden, They were all within walking distance of the trail, less than a half mile. Most of them in the quarter mile.
Yeah, any hostel that's not in walking distance of the trail will normally accommodate you with some sort of a shuttle if you call in and tell them where you're going to be and when you're going to cross the road. But in that particular section that we crossed, about a week ago, I'd say the majority of the hostels were within easy walking distance, less than a half mile.
Yeah, Bear Garden, Weary Feet, Woods Hole, all within
Easy
distance.
walking distance.
What about future hikes? What's on the menu for future hikes?
That's a pretty long list.
Yeah, we love walking. We love distance walking. I will say for sure we're going to go and do another Camino, and I can't imagine just doing one more. I can see at least two more Caminos in our future. I think we'd want to do the Portuguese, and we want to do either the Norte or the Primitivo. Additionally, we've hiked in Scotland before, and we would go back in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. We've done the West Highland Way, and we would like to do the West Highland Way and then connect the Great Glen Way to it, and hike both of those in the same hike. But pretty much, if we hear about a long trail, we're going to want to do it.
Yeah, we're thinking about the Kamokodo in Japan, which is a pilgrimage of its own sort. The Inca Trail, which is a relatively short, but very, very high trail. It's a four-day walk. But yeah, there's a pretty long list of places we want to go.
And I know you are not ready to hear this, but I
know I'm not ready to hear this.
I wouldn't mind doing the Pacific Crest Trail in like 500-mile segments, just to take 6 or 8 weeks and cherry pick the season and do the whole thing, but take a year or two to do it. He'll be ready eventually, I think.
Maybe.
What other hikes? I know
That's a pretty long
Expedition Director Emma's got one that she's looking at right now. Yeah, maybe she'll let us go along.
Oh.
We'll see.
If we're nice to her.
Yeah. Now it's time for the lightning round. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. What's your favorite Mountain House meal?
Lasagna.
Yellow curry with chicken. In the last couple of weeks where we stayed at hostels, what was your favorite hostel? We're going to say the name on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Weary Feet.
So why Weary Feet?
It was the way they fed us.
Yes, the food never stops.
Yeah, they fed us until we begged for mercy. And there's pound cake sitting there. You could just take as much pound cake as you wanted.
One of you asked about dessert, and dessert that day was a cream cheese pound cake, and it was phenomenal. And
now,
it was truly all you could eat.
In Woods Hole, in the defense of Woods Hole, I will say we were there on a Tuesday off season, so we didn't get to eat Neville's cooking. And it is famous. Legendary, yes. All right.
Well, Woods Hole was unique, though. It has its own vibe, its own atmosphere. We stayed in that cute little safari tent, so we had privacy but community.
Yeah.
It was just a really interesting place.
And the smoothies were fabulous.
The smoothies were awesome, the bread and the cheese.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
It's okay. It's okay that they're different. How many pairs of shoes have you gone through?
I am on my 9th pair of shoes. I have trashed 8 pair of shoes.
I'm on my 7th pair, and I'm going back to Skechers. I've worn the Solomons, 4 different pair of Solomons in a row, and the last pair I didn't like at all. But there were 2 pair in between there that I loved quite a lot. But I'm going back to the Skechers. We're in Virginia now, and I think the Skechers will hold up just fine. And I've got several in the closet waiting for me.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back in the Ultras, and one of the hikers that we were hiking with the other day said when he tried on a pair of Ultras, they were so comfortable he wanted to take a nap. They're that cushy, but they don't last long.
How much weight have you lost?
35 pounds.
when we were home at base camp, I knew I'd lost 20 pounds, but I think I've actually gained back a few pounds in the last 2 weeks because we've been very well fed in the last 2 weeks.
I don't know. We've been hiking pretty hard.
We have, but
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Tell me about the most significant animal sighting you've had.
I think it might be the fox the other day.
That was cool.
It just went,
Yeah.
I mean, very, very quick running through the woods and hard to keep your eyes on, but I think that was a very unusual sighting.
That's because he hasn't seen a moose.
True.
And then we've had a baby bear and a maybe bear.
Yeah, there was a probable bear the other day, but it could have been a big squirrel.
Or 2 squirrels. We found out the other day 2 squirrels can make the sound of a bear.
Yeah.
What is your pack weigh?
I have no idea. Something just north of 30 pounds, but I haven't weighed it.
And that's with food and water.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. When I left base camp, it was I think 23 and a half or 24, somewhere in that range, with food and water. It varies so much. That's why you have to go by base weight. And I don't know what my base weight was because I didn't step on the scale with base weight. But maybe when I get home, I'll
Don't have a clue.
figure it out. Yeah. What's your favorite treat?
My favorite treat is what has just been delivered.
Oh,
Oh, a pumpkin roll.
gin and tonic.
Oh, and a gin and tonic.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for joining us.